Hey guys, and welcome to another episode. Today we are using one of my favorite kitchen appliances to make an amazing meal. I've talked about this before, but guys, I love the Instant Pot. It really has been a game changer for my kitchen. Even though I'm a formally trained chef and I've used, every type of cooking device you can imagine, I constantly use my Instant Pot, and I use it a lot to make the types of food that would take a long time to cook, things like beans and rice. Well, today we're going to be making dog food stew. And this is something that if we were using a stove and a traditional method, it might take hours. But for an Instant Pot, all it really takes is about 10 minutes of prep work. You press a button, and that's all it takes. So today we're going to be making a dog food stew. It's going to have beef, rice, carrots, sweet potatoes, and peas. Again, really quick to come together, and it is a super hearty dish. Your dogs are going to love it. And here's how to make it. Okay, so here's what we're going to be working with. Hey, did you get an Instant Pot for Christmas? Well, whether you're new to this appliance or you've been using it for years like me, here is one way that is going to just be remarkable for your kitchen, and it's going to make something that your dogs are going to love. So here's the, of course, kind of the main ingredient. This is beef, and I am just using, it's called beef for stew meat. And basically these are some tougher cuts of meat. They're a little bit cheaper. So you can buy this pre-cut, or you could get, like, let's say a whole cut and then just kind of cut it into sections. You don't need to be using a really expensive meat for this. Don't bother with the filet mignon. This is going to work out great. We've also got a yam or a sweet potato. I'm probably going to use about half of this. 2 carrots. This is some brown rice. I'm going to use 2 cups of this. And then finally, we have some green peas. These are just frozen. I'm going to use, let's say, about a cup of that. And here is how to bring it all together. So that's an overview of the ingredients. And again, what I love about this dish is it really takes no time to put together, maybe just about 10 minutes. And most of that is just going to be kind of measuring the ingredients and chopping a few things up. So first thing I'll do is chop up our carrots, and you don't have to peel your carrots, but if you don't, just make sure you scrub them really good. But for this, I'll just peel them. And I'm going to do the same thing with my sweet potato here. I'm going to peel this. And again, I'm probably going to use maybe about half of this. And if you don't have a sweet potato, you can just use a regular potato. I like using these though because they're more nutritious. They have vitamin A, and they're just a little more nutritious than a plain white potato. But if all you have is a white potato, go ahead and use that. Next, we'll chop up our potato and our carrots. And again, if you've seen any of these videos that I've done before, know that if you have a bigger dog, you can use bigger chunks, bite-sized pieces for your dog. If you've got just a little 4-pound Chihuahua, of course, cut these into small pieces. So, just like a human, you want these to be bite-sized pieces, but relative to your dog. So again, I'm going to use about half of this. So we've chopped up our sweet potato and our carrots. Now let's measure out our peas. Again, I'm just using some frozen green peas here. And I'm going to use about a cup. Now here's a pro tip. If you guys really want to be, let's say, make this even easier, you can buy a bag of this with carrots combined. I won't judge you for that. That's fine. So we'll just measure. This is about a cup of our peas, and we will just dump it in here. And this is our vegetable component. Now let's move on to measuring our rice, dumping in our meat, and getting this thing going. Okay, now let's measure 2 cups of rice, and I'm just using basic brown rice here. Okay, 1 and 2. And as always, when I'm working with rice, I like to give it a quick rinse before cooking it. So we've got all our ingredients. Let's bring it all together and make this happen. So first thing I'll do is I'll just dump in the rice. And it really doesn't matter which order you do this. This is just kind of personal preference. And this is the meat. This is about, let's say, just under a pound of beef. So you don't have to be exact on this. Again, I'm using just about a pound. Dump that in. And then our vegetables. Okay, now of course the liquid, we can't forget that. We wouldn't have stew if you didn't have water. So I'm going to fill this to, let's say, about the 8-cup line, where it says that on the Instant Pot. If you want it to be moister, you can use more water, and if you want it to be less moist, use less. So we're just going to fill this up here. I like to add just a little bit of salt. We'll give this a quick stir. Put a lid on. Now all you have to do is press one button. I'm going to use the meat stew setting for 30 minutes. Now all we have to do is let this cook. This is going to take about an hour and a half, but again, the wonderful thing with the Instant Pot is after it stops beeping, you don't have to do anything. Just set it and forget it. So we'll meet back here in about an hour and a half and check out our results. So it's been just over an hour and a half and the cooking is done. Let's see how our dog food beef stew turned out in our Instant Pot. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Perfect. As you can see, it is just brimming with the beef. It is so perfect. That's like this is like pot roast beef right here. Rice, the peas, the carrots, everything has been cooked perfectly. Everything has been cooked to perfection. And again, if you wanted this even moister, you could add more water. If you want a little less moist, then just use less water. Now this is, you can totally serve this as is to your dogs. Of course, wait till it cools to about lukewarm. Or if you want, you can add it to their existing kibble. Just kind of mix it in, whatever you like, but this is a complete meal. Now just refrigerate the rest, and then when you're ready to serve again, I like to heat it to about lukewarm in the microwave. And your dogs are going to love it. If you need proof, let's see how ours react. Limbers, are you hungry? Parva, are you hungry? Come here, baby boy. Good boy. There you go, sweetheart. Come here, Parva. Good girl, sweetheart. And that is how to make dog food beef stew in your Instant Pot. Let me know if your dogs like it, and if you guys like this video, please like, please subscribe. And if there's anything you want to know how to cook or any ideas you have, questions you have about homemade dog food, just put it in the comments below. Thanks so much, and we will see you next time.